In this video, I'd like to talk a little bit about trying to get into shape, particularly if you're already overweight and you've not been looking after yourself, and let's say you're less than 35 years of age or 40, and you're obese, let's just say, 30 kilos overweight or something like that. I see a lot of times really overweight people sometimes say, well, I'm gonna get into shape and I'm gonna start jogging. That's a really stupid idea. And I'll explain why. Because you have all this excess weight on your body and you're pounding your knees with all those excess kilos or pounds. And you're punishing your knees and your joints, your ankles, and all these sorts of things. So whoever's told you to do that doesn't know what they're talking about, straight off. What I would do if I have that much excess weight, you need to do two things. You have to push yourself away from the table. You have to stop eating all that crap and all those carbohydrates and all that stuff you're not supposed to eat.
Yummy, yummy.
And get a grip, get a hold of yourself. A lot of times it's just emotional stuff that people are dealing with, and that's just the way they deal with life. Well, find out why that might be, and then find a solution, what you can do and how you can solve it. So as far as the exercise thing goes, I would recommend doing biking, spinning, these Olympic machines, this kind of thing, which is a lot easier on the joints until you get your weight down to an area where maybe it might be okay that you start jogging, and then jogging, but gradually building it up a bit. But I definitely wouldn't start jogging. I just saw people now, because it's right after New Year's, people, oh yeah, I'm gonna get into shape now. And they're terribly obese and they're jogging. I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, if they only knew what they're doing to their joints and their body. And it usually takes the joints about 8 weeks to adapt to exercise, meaning the muscle will adapt to any kind of weight training, exercise, or whatever, much more quickly than the joints. And that's why so often people who start out training at the beginning end up with joint injuries. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about, because I think I've damaged about every joint on this body at this point. Maybe not every joint, but quite a few, really, from not knowing what I was doing. So anyway, I hope you take my advice about weight loss and what you can do to reduce your weight as we're into the new year. One of the main culprits is combining two ingredients, which is flour and carbohydrates with fat. That combination is probably the most deadly combination to weight gain, because what it does is it creates insulin resistance. It makes the cells open up, so the glucose makes the cells open up so the fat can get right in. And the glucose is created by the flours or the carbohydrates, and of course the fats go in there, and then you get a fat cell, basically. So it's an oversimplification, but it gives you the general idea. So avoiding those two ingredients together is a way to help lose weight. That's why you have diets like the Atkins diet, these high-fat diets and low carbs and all that kind of things. And I've tried most all these diets, and they work. I don't know how healthy, for example, the Atkins diet really is to do for a long period of time. But short period of time, it's really, really effective. I mean, talk about getting shredded and having a six-pack. It's amazing what it can do for you in that short period of time. So what I would recommend is if you're serious about wanting to lose weight, you need to do it step by step, slowly, but make a real commitment. And I would start out by saying, okay, if I'm gonna eat carbs, I'll eat my crap food in the morning. Now, having said that, that does not mean you eat a chocolate croissant, because if the first thing you put in your body is a food that's what they call high glycemic index, it shoots your blood sugar up really, really high, and that will eventually create insulin resistance if you don't have it already. But what I am saying is if you're gonna have a piece of toast with your eggs or something like that for breakfast, if you're gonna do it in the morning. If you're gonna have fruit, have it in the morning. If you're gonna have any kind of carbs, have it in the morning. And as the day progresses on, you can eat proteins, eat green vegetables. Could be leafy greens, could be asparagus, could be broccoli, could be green beans, though they have more carbohydrates. There's a host of like healthy vegetables that you can eat, both cooked, not too cooked, but cooked and raw. Tomatoes, great. Obviously avoid sweet potato, baked potatoes and all that kind of stuff, especially in the night. French fries are like a common sense, because there's a carbohydrate with fat put together, right? So that's like a deadly combination if you want to lose weight. And definitely stay away from the Snicker bars, the ice creams, and all that kind of stuff in the evening. And try doing that over a period of time. There's no reason, in fact, I know there's no reason you won't lose weight. Most people don't lose weight because they're not committed. They don't have a strong enough reason, a strong enough why to follow through. They don't have a commitment. And you need to have like a goal and say, I'm doing this because in 3 months' time, I want this result. Because it could be something as stupid as you just want to meet women, or you want to meet a guy, or you just want to look better, or whatever the reason is. That's not really important what the reason is. The important thing is that you have a goal and you have a reason. And that reason is strong enough that motivates you to take the action consistently every day. That means step by step, step by step. And when we look back, we'll see the progress that we made over these course of these weeks.